Week 6. We are all the way now in mid-October, counting down to the spooky days, of course. But honestly, also, Christian, before I even go to the regular start here, I have a question for you just off the bat. Has pumpkin
Well,
spice been as crazy as it's normally been? And what a touchdown, by the way, from the Dukes.
I've never been a pumpkin guy either. Pumpkin spice coffee, pumpkin, beer, whatever. Never been my forte of that type of things. Not sure how you feel, but I tend to kind of stay away from that stuff. So not sure if I'm really in tune with the pumpkin.
Well, I mean, I work at the YMCA, of course, so I see a lot of people, and I just haven't heard the conversations as much. Oh my God, we even went for two. That's crazy. But yeah, I just thought to myself, I was like, man, it's like mid-October and I haven't even seen commercials for it or anything. It's amazing. Oh yeah, we're on the same wavelength here. I also found my own little Oktoberfest festive drink. So yeah, it's gonna be a good
It's
time here on
it
the spring.
it's a seasonal thing. Always have to get the Sam Adams seasonal lot of beers that come out during the fall and their winter package every single time because there's gonna be a new beer put out there. The Flannel Fest that you have in your hand right there, I feel like it's the
Read.
new one. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I think the reason why this one's actually the first one for me, my favorite one was I like the Oktoberfest. I really do like that
Yeah,
one.
always good classic.
The Jack-o'-lantern. That one actually I did
I
like.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm not the biggest one, but like it will take a good one for me to enjoy the Jacko. I
Hmm.
liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and then got the regular one on deck. I'm probably gonna go through those first. Probably gonna get through those, get those ones out the way so I can enjoy these seasonals. Um, and just like the seasonals, though, we're in the season of another sport starting up. I mean, I actually watched the Florida Panthers play instead of watching my own Avalanche because I live on the East Coast now. So, so much for watching hockey, my Avalanche hockey. They played at like 10 o'clock. I was like, no, sir, I'm not watching this game. So I did
Yeah.
watch the Panthers game. I watched it all the way up until I think you guys put up 6, and I think I turned it off
Yeah.
at 4. So when you guys were up, I think you guys were up by 4-1 or 3-1. So yeah, it was a. How did you feel about the game though? Like I said, I was just watching. You were probably a fan of the moment.
Yeah, picked up right where we left off. And so it was Sam Bennett coming in with the first goal, the man, Mr. Boston himself, that continues to haunt that team. So it was good to see that out the gate. And then you just had the boys smacking it left and right inside, making Boston and Swayman really on the bench sitting there, hoping that he signed his contract extension a lot sooner than later. He would have probably been starting, but wasn't the best for that other goalie that they got in. I don't know his name just yet, but it was not a good first start for him for the Boston era. But hockey's all the way back. Enjoyed it, and so we'll have a full season ahead of ourselves. And the boys look good. Boys look good.
Yeah, that's a great feeling to have. For me, I'm personally already disappointed in a hockey team, and that's the Blackhawks. You already lost to the Utah Hockey Club. I mean, that's just I was very disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. Them and I think the Kraken lost as well, but they're another story for another day. But yeah, all right. That's all the hockey that I know and everything, of course. We are getting closer to the NBA. Preseason's happening right now. I know you're not probably as in touch with that, but let me just tell you, Rob Dillingham for the Timberwolves. Woo, I can't wait to see what this Timberwolf team can do. I might have to say it, Christian, even though you're not the basketball guy. When Colby gets back, you can go ahead and tell him how confident I am in my NBA take right here. I think the Wolves won't miss a step without Cat. Can I say it? I think we'll be all right.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, I agree.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in that take. I'm looking how we came out and everything. Obviously, it's going to be a question mark at the big man play, but the guards, man, the young guards and forwards, fun. I can't wait. I think we're gonna be fine. I think we're gonna be fine. So yeah, NBA starting out, already getting some good classic Jason Tatum memes. I feel like here soon. So, and John Morant, poor guy, he got injured. I think he twisted his ankle. So hopefully he's all right and he can
Poor
play.
guy.
So. Yeah, now that I'm rambling, got that covered as well. JMU up 15-7 in the second quarter, which means it is perfect time for us to transition into the NFL. Right now, the San Francisco 49ers are at Seattle. I don't know how that game is going actually because I have the JMU game up. Let's see. We'll just do a quick glance here. No,
It
I don't.
is 0-0 currently with the Niners and the Seahawks. Gino threw a pick on a good drive, and so now the Niners have the ball here.
All right, so the line has dropped. It's been moving around a lot, but right now we're going to patch it at 4.5 and everything. Obviously, we can't use this game, but for our locks. But Christian, do you think the Seattle Seahawks cover that 4.5? Because I
No,
think
no,
no, you don't
no.
think so.
I think the stat has been thrown around that the Seattle Seahawks are 20-0 against the spread coming off two back-to-back losses. And that's stat was thrown on everywhere, which means, as you know, once a stat gets thrown around people's faces, typically the opposite happens. So I will be just writing that.
Well, I can attest to that because the Seattle Seahawks have been playing very odd football as they lost to the New York Giants, which I think was one of our locks from last week.
Yep, I'm
Thanks,
pretty sure it was.
you Seattle. So I think this raises the question of which team do you really trust here? And at the end of the day, the reason why I'm surprised that you said the 49ers here is because Seattle, it has your boy Mac McDonald and his defense. Can he at least cause the problems that we've been seeing for the San Francisco 49ers? So I think that they could have at least stirred up some drama, but not like you said at the beginning of this game. Geno Smith was doing a perfect drive and he threw it away. So I'm personally going to have to say I'm going to ride out the Seattle Seahawks as the line just jumped. I'm looking at the line. I can't do that. I'm going to turn that off. As the line jumps up to 7. So that means San Francisco is about to score. I'm going to stick with the Seattle Seahawks. I want to see them pull this through. I think they can cover the line at least, but they gotta get it together. What happened to being a perennial NFC playoff team? Or are the 49ers still going to be a problem in the NFC from the NFC West? And I'm hoping for the first one. All right,
And that's what it's looking like, so unfortunately so far.
next question. I just don't. I really would love to see the Cardinals give them a hard time. It doesn't look like the Rams got it in them until they have to really have Cooper Cup and Nakua to give people a problem again. I mean, we'll get to them as well. I think they pulled it off as well. So it's going to be interesting and everything in the NFC West. I just would love to see a team that's not named the 49ers take it. Just personally speaking. They're doing a lot of trick plays on us, aren't they? Trying to play cute. All right. Christian, what is the London game? Right? It's what we got. We got the Jags.
The London game, we have the Jags. Yes, the Jags and the Bears. The Bears are a 1.5 point favorite here in this game.
They should, I think. I'm going with the Bears on this toss-up. I think that's an easy one, in my opinion. Um, yeah. What can you say about the Jags really that you don't like about the Bears? I think Caleb
Oh
Williams is
boy.
starting to figure it out, you know?
Caleb is starting to figure it out. He's getting better week by week. However, we are in prime Jaguars area here. The Jaguars are London's team here. So this should be interesting how they officially go out here after the whole slump and now catching the win, which was an electric win over Flacco. I thought Flacco was going to pull it out in the end there.
Oh, that did.
Uh,
That was
but
heartbreaking.
I'm gonna have to take the Bears -1.5. I just don't. I don't like this pick. I want to
Really?
see the Jags pulling out some BS just because it's in London and also a rookie overseas. I'm sure there's some stat out there, some rookie on the international waters. But
I,
I'll go Caleb
Jones is
here.
part of that stat.
Mm.
Yeah, but I was about to say that would be an interesting stat to find here. Um, I just think the Bears defense will show up in London. And the way the Jaguars are playing, if they actually get their game together and they're another team in London, stay. For God's sake, stay in London, maybe. Maybe that's your answer is, dude, just stay in London. Like, don't play in Jacksonville anymore. You should just be the London Jags. So I'm just interested. It is true. This game is a toss-up, which is very interesting to me. So I just feel like the Bears are just the more complete team that's been showing us for these last couple of weeks. So yeah, that's very surprising. We both agree, at least, on the Bears. All right, what's our next one?
Our next one is what people are saying game of the year here. You know, Commanders at Baltimore. Baltimore is a 6.5 point favorite here. I'll let you go first.
Out the way. Yeah, I was about to say, interesting. You know, you have the power to control the media, but getting this big, juicy one out the way, I can't disagree with it. Look, you want me to go first for a reason. Do I actually think Jaden McDaniels and Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury's college offense really gonna go up against this team? I like what I'm seeing from Jaden McDaniels. I really would love to see them pull this upset off. I'm going to lean the Ravens here as well. I mean, this isn't. I gotta lean the Ravens here just from the deep. I mean, yes, Joe Burrow sliced them up last week, and we'll get to that. And that's going to be an interesting topic and everything because I'm tired of the stats that have been thrown at my face about Joe Burrow. Seems like my feed has to try and correct me, but I'm not going to fall for that. We'll get to it. But and Jane McDaniels is what I'm trying to say. Can he do what Joe Burrow did? I just don't think so. If you're trying to say that his game is similar to Lamar's, shouldn't that be beneficial for the Ravens? I don't know. So I'm going to go with the Ravens here, just because I like the brand. I think this will be the biggest challenge the Commanders will face offensively as well, because they can get you from both sides when they feel like it. So give me the Ravens.
This here last week. Wow. That
Oh, what a
that
game!
game that game had me just all over the place. It I turned off the game after I saw the fumble go out,
Oh,
and I go to my room and I have Red Zone on in my actual room itself. I had the game itself in the living room, but I had Red Zone on in my living room. I just took a little quick peek at McPherson lining up to kick this field goal, and the holder messes up the kick, and I'm like, oh, we're all the way back, and I go to turn on the actual game back in the living room, and I missed the whole Derrick Henry run because Derrick Henry already was down by the field, just smiling his way, rushing. Like the guy's a psychopath. If you watch these videos of him just smiling when running the ball, like God, I mean, it's awesome to have on the Ravens. Oh my God, like he has exceeded my expectations already of just like how awesome he to have him on the team. But that was pure Lamar football right there, of like the man putting his Superman cape on and willing the team. The defense is getting sliced up left and right, which is quite annoying, I will say. Of just like, here we go again type of scenario a couple of years ago. But it was quite refreshing to see and be on the other side of things of these graphics of the lead, and it was nice to Lamar was just putting the step on the gas the whole way through. He was not letting up. He was not letting them breathe. He continued to drive. And that play, man, Kevin Harlan just continues to be on Lamar Jackson games where he just pulls out the most out of pocket, ridiculous play that you just couldn't even think of that
mhm.
Lamar does. That stick on the hover. I jumped out my seat. I was like, oh my, likely
Was it the
just
play where
jumps
he
over.
stiff armed Hendrickson? I think it was.
Yeah, it was Hubbard, I think, and then Hendrickson was the one that came on the after. But like the defeat he had, just going up to his knees of like, what just happened is absurd. So that like God, I love Lamar Jackson. That man
You want
continues
to
to
know?
make it.
I have him as a fantasy, as you know, he's my fantasy quarterback. And first, let me tell you, Christian, I'm right. I was right there with you. Those first couple of weeks, I was concerned, but that game just made me love him and even more. That was just amazing, just a spectacle to watch. The reason why you draft Lamar right there in fantasy football. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to
Yeah,
just tag in on that. Like that was, it's just, he's just amazing.
yeah. So all credit to Lamar. That was game of the year. This the Commanders fans are claiming this is game of the year. Ravens fans are not claiming this to be game of the year. This is just a normal game to us. The Commanders have had a sniff of wins, and now they're feeling the moment. But I have a very bold take, and I claimed this last year, and it came to fruition.
All right.
The,
I'm
the
listening.
the day, the week before the Detroit Lions came into Baltimore, the Detroit Lions were the hottest team in the NFL, and they were high power offense left and right. A repeat will happen this Sunday of the Commanders getting absolutely humbled pie real quick of just okay, you're gonna face a legitimatized team here. Of the Lions had that last year, and it's good for them. They learned from that mistake, but I have a feeling we're gonna be dealing with a situation where Baltimore absolute steps in the throat of the commies here. And props to Jay and Daniels, but this Baltimore defense also well has faced Lamar Jackson for the past almost 8 years. So they are well familiar with a running quarterback. So this
I'll
is
say,
not nothing new. You are not dealing with another defense that doesn't deal with this. This defense knows how to do it. And also Jaden Daniels, I saw a stat. He tends to shift to the right and only throws to the right. If you look at a stat pad of what he throws to, I thought that was very interesting. But great. Looks like he's no knock on him, but he's great. Rookie of the year. But I have to do what I have to do here. So give me Baltimore with the points.
yeah, a lot of points, but I'm right there with you, man. I think I love the Lions take there because I completely forgotten about that game. But yeah, it was a great humble pie that was served. If this happens to the Commanders though, and you're giving them that status, are you saying you're agreeing that they're already a playoff team then, huh? You expect them to be
Yeah,
in the
no, they're a playoff. They're a playoff team. Yep, they're gonna win the division. I think.
that's crazy. That is crazy. Where's did anyone have the Commanders? Well, that's the question. Who was over on the Commanders? That is the hot question as we go to the board. I really need to get this thing like made into a poster so I just can look at it. Um, no, I didn't. I got nobody. No one had the Commanders.
Nobody. Oh,
Only person that's high on the Commanders was Lou, technically, because he said that Jaden Daniels, like you said, rookie of the year. So he was the guy. That was his first week one take. I have that Ernie Johnson stick it note on one of my notebooks. So yeah, shout out Lou, shout out takes for the Commanders. If there was any way I could play devil's advocate here, the miracle magic just continues, man. I really don't know what else to say. I mean, defenses are coming out saying that this is a Mickey Mouse offense, but it's slicing them up. So
and if,
uh,
if they come in here for a game, like props to them. Like it's gonna be like, hey, you got a good future going on for the team.
either that or it's going to fuel, really, really fuel into my concern for year two for Jane McDaniels if they don't upgrade their field. So it's one or the other. Either this is going to be that one year where Washington's just amazing or crazy to watch, and then we just got to see how do they sustain it for next season. That I hope that's not going to be the question. So I'm leaning humble pie, like you said. Hmm. All right, here we go. What's our next game line that you got on deck for us here?
Next one, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at New Orleans here. Buccaneers are a 3.5 point favorite.
Um, okay. I think this is actually a little interesting just because of the fact that the Bucks are already playing in New Orleans. I mean, they had been there since Tuesday, due to the hurricane, of course. Feel like this is one of those games where it's like we're going to play through emotion and everything, got everything on our backs. So give me the Bucks. I feel like this is going to be an emotional win for them to go out there and win this game, especially against a division opponent where they lost so close and Baker Mayfield couldn't even get a second chance against the Falcons. Another insane game, might I add you, that was on the slate that we once we got off air, that game went into overtime and Lou probably lost his mind. But yeah, I was about to say, as me, I was sitting just like Baker Mayfield was. I was very disappointed. I wanted to see Baker do some overtime magic, and he didn't even get a chance. So I think luckily they can't do that in the playoffs. So if that happens again in the playoffs, I can't wait to see it. But right now, he needs to let his anger out. Give me the Bucks. They're in a very emotional spot, I feel like here. So give me the Bucks. I feel like this is a must win for them to just clear their mind of everything.
I'm on the same wavelength here. This is the Hurricane game here. You got to come out strong after your city got hit by a hurricane. You got to, you got to.
Yeah,
Like one,
I
one,
hate to put another Mother Nature on the spot, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, as we know. But we're also guaranteed a Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore fight here as we tail all his time here. But if you want me to be honest, I am kind of worried Spencer Rattler does good. I I I
He's playing
I,
with you. Wow.
he did solid in preseason. I know, I understand it was preseason, but he may be the spark the Saints need here. And so I can
Can I
see
put
a
your
scenario.
name on? You want to put an
I'm
Ernest Johnson moment on this, Christian?
I'm I'm if sprinkling Spencer Rattler anytime touchdown for him to rush one in, rookie QB. Like I can see it. I can see it. So walk me down for that. But I'm not taking the Saints here. I'm taking the Bucks right here.
I'm writing down the anytime touchdown. There we go. Okay. That is if I wanted to play devil's advocate for the Saints, it's really hard, but you did it really well right there. It's Spencer Rattler comes out here,
Yeah.
pulls
He
out,
could be a
like, holy
spark.
cow, this rookie class of quarterbacks is really good. That's the
Yeah,
only way that this conversation gets different next week.
yeah.
However, the Saints
His
have a
deep ball is
reputation for upsetting us on this goddamn podcast.
yeah, yeah. That is also the thing as well.
So
But
I would heed my concern. Heed my concern. Don't touch this game.
yep. If I am a gambling man, I would not touch this game except anytime touchdown.
Yeah, I was about to say, do not touch that spread. All right, Christian, what do you got?
I got here the Cleveland Browns head to Philadelphia. The Eagles are 9.5 point favorites.
Home?
Yeah.
Man, why do I feel like that's too much expectations for the Eagles? But the Browns are are they that bad? That's the question I really need to ask. Like, which one's worse, the Eagles' offense and their little internal problems, or the Cleveland Browns as a whole? Are we back to the classic Browns? That's the question I'm really asking. Even with Stefanski there, are they back to being the classic Browns this season? This is a hard spot. You look like you have an answer. This is a hard spot for me. So if you got it, go ahead. I got to take a minute to think of this one.
I got an answer, and
Okay.
god dang, do I hate it. Give me the Cleveland Browns plus 9.5.
Okay.
I think that's too much points here. And the Philadelphia sports in general always tend to let the worst team or worst players somehow play good. And I can see the situation where Deshaun actually does good for no reason after weeks and weeks of being belittled and pummeled, which well deserved. Well deserved. Guy's the worst quarterback in the league right now. But I just have a weird feeling with this. And it's a lot of points. Give me Cleveland. I hate it, but like it's just gut feeling with this one.
And you know what you're saying right now? I was talking to this older guy at work and everything, and he's a Philadelphia fan. For people out there at one of my branches, I have an office, and in front of my office, I have all the sports teams that I'm a fan of, from the Timberwolves, who by the way, my neighbor is a Falcons and Knicks fan. I kid you not. And
That's such
so
an ugly combo.
yeah, it is very uncommon, but he is also like putting up his own sports fandom and everything on his door. So, but anyways, yeah, I have all my sports teams out. Talk to this guy, and he's an Eagles fan, and he goes, "If the Browns actually beat the Eagles, Nick Sirianni's gone, especially after what just
Ooh,
happened with Robert Saleh and the fact that this is Philadelphia."
ooh, that's a
And
spicy.
And I was like, I told him, I was like, that's not crazy because the floodgates have opened already on the coach firing. Other
Yeah,
owners might
yeah.
actually feel the need to fire their coaches now in the midseason, especially if the Jets come out winning on Monday night. What if they do? I mean, you can't tell me people have been already talking about Nick Sirianni's on the hot seat over the offseason. So you've been thinking about it already in the office. So we know you're not getting rid of the GM. What do you got?
Bounce, bouncing off that, I actually talked with this with James, my roommate here. I think Sirianni, no matter what happens this season, I think he gets fired unless he wins a Super Bowl. because of how that environment is and how the expectations are held and how the fandoms cry for the heads. I think Sirianni's in a position where he has the slimmest of chances winning with this, like in life of just as the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. Unless he wins the Super Bowl, I think his job is cut. And I don't blame totally on Sirianni. That's the thing. Like I understand a lot of the hate, but I don't put the full blame on him.
Yeah, that is always cool. For me, it's hard to take in still. Like Sirianni was just in the Super Bowl, and I can understand what you're saying. Like the way, like I said, the way Philadelphia is, it's
Yeah,
kind of hard to believe that that can actually be a thing, especially losing to what you said, to a guy that is having one of the worst seasons so far in the NFL. His stats are getting compared to Johnny Manziel right now. It's that kind of bad for the Cleveland quarterback Deshaun Watson. So especially when people are banging on the door for Jameis Winston. And who knows? This might be the game where we see him, and the reason why
this
this
could be the game. Yeah.
yeah, this could be the game. You never know at this point. Um, Still waiting on Nick Chubb, as I also have him on fantasy football, so we're still waiting on him. Hopefully he shows up sometime. But man, I can't if I were to tell me which team I have to trust here on the 9.5, I'm gonna have to say the Browns as well, just through their defense, though. I don't know if this is the type of game where they come out and show out, but I do think their defense will give this offense a little bit of trouble. But Christian, as you've been saying, what defense? What defense? So maybe I'm getting this is probably the game where I go finally, you know what? The Browns are back to being the Browns. So I think
I would not go that far. All right, let's put it.
love Stefanski. He came from Minnesota. Remember, he came from Minnesota. But this season, if you're stuck and have to be committed to Deshaun Watson until he literally falls apart, I'm gonna have to jump off the ship. I have to. I mean, what do you expect? I'm not gonna sit here for this. I rooted for the ankle biting Browns, and I loved it when they played Joe Flacco. That game it was so electric. But even with DTR, I think even though DTR struggled very bad, but the defense was playing out of their minds. Maybe because they didn't have to. I don't know. Maybe because they were more motivated to play against with another quarterback. So I don't know. The Browns is a very interesting team, and maybe the Eagles are looking at that same spotlight, but they're just a little too greedy if you think about it. So, because I mean, for God's sakes, you were in the Super Bowl literally a couple years ago. Calm down. Like you're fine as long as you make the playoffs. Just be happy you make the playoffs every year. That should just be good enough if you ask a fellow NFC fan. All right. Go ahead, Christian. We got enough time, I think, before this first Zoom runs out. So, what do you got for us on the next line?
No, we'll make it in time with this one. We got the Colts going at Tennessee.
Oh,
Tennessee Titans are a -2.5 point favorite here. I'll be quick of mine. No, give me Joe Flacco +2.5. I am not taking the Titans as a favorite here. What are we doing here?
so what do they know, Christian? I think this is a definitely what do they know type
Do
of
they
game.
know?
What do the people know? For me personally, what do I know? I know the Titans have been playing slightly competitive football, but I do also know that Joe Flacco can come out here and deal whenever he wants. Um, I'm going to go with you on this one. This is a quick one for me as well. I mean, just don't see it for Will Levis. Maybe it's because they're coming off a bye. That's the only reason they're favored is because we're going to see a team coming off the bye for the first time with their new coach, which again, don't know. So give me the Colts here and everything. I think Joe Flacco reopening up Sirianni's offense. Obviously, see what more this Colts team can do besides, all out throws, which by the way, Joe Flacco can still do. So give me the Colts. Yeah, I'm pretty confident in that. And if Jonathan Taylor, I think, is he healthy? Because if they have Jonathan Taylor,
I don't.
Joe
It's very
Flacco, they
questionable. Questionable.
questionable. Okay, I'm going on. And the quickest way to check on injuries in the NFL is fantasy football. So go in there and you just go see what's going on. But yeah, I was going to say if Jonathan Taylor is good to go, I'm definitely hammering this line. So All right. We've got enough time for another one, actually, since that one was pretty gross, like you said.
We have the Texans at New England. We have the Texans as a 6.5 point favorite in Drake May's first ever start.
Okay. Drake May is a 6.5 point dog for his first game. That speaks in volumes. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's, first of all, Christian, me and you, pat ourselves on the back. We both agreed to this take that Jacoby Brissett would be out by this time. So we both said week 4, week 5, but we expected week 6. Here we are, Drake May. We did say that he'll be in by now, so we get to pat ourselves on the back because we did call that one. Was it because of injury though? No. So that's why I'm saying congratulations to Jacoby Brissett. You actually lived out your 6 game trial or 5 game trial. That was pretty cool. So I loved watching every moment, especially because you're trying your best and the team is just that gross. Does putting in Drake May going to make this team better? No, not at this week. Not for this one. No, sir. I think the Texans are the easy pick here. Give me the Texans 6.5. If it's close, it's because the Texans are going to pull like a Mike Tomlin in the Steelers here and just love playing close games, like as gross as you can be for some reason. But D'Amico Ryans is a defensive coach. Remember that, folks. But give me the Texans and the points.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Wayne Lake Pier. I just don't. The Patriots could have waited a week. They could have waited a week. The next week they have the Jaguars. Like you could have waited to put the rookie. Why are you throwing a rookie to the Wolves here against the Texans, who hit pretty hard? Like they are gonna come at you, and it is oh no, oh no, Devo scored.
I was about to say it's been a
Uh,
fumble fest. So you saying, "Oh no," I'm like, "Oh God, did we just fumble it after everyone's been dropping the ball?"
yeah, Devo scored first touchdown. I bet Ayuk, and I'm going against Devo, so that's ideal. But give me Texans. I see Drake having a bad time with the Texans D here.
Yeah, I feel like that's an easy one for us there. All right, we got 4 minutes still, so let's go ahead and hit this last one. I think we got enough
Yeah,
still.
last of the 1 o'clocks here, so perfect timing. We have the Cardinals at the Packers. The Packers are 4.5 point favorites.
Cardinals at Packers, 4.5 point favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and take. Hang on, I'm trying to get the zoom. I'm gonna go ahead and take though. Personally, would love to see the Cardinals pull this off. Let's get the bias out of the way right now. I would love to see the Cardinals win this game. However, I don't know if that's going to happen. The reason why this line is already at the underdog is because me and you were already talking about it. I told you if you check his profile picture on social media, one of his social media pages, he has a picture of Goku in a Kyler Murray jersey. Um, Folks, tomorrow's a big day. Dragon Ball Z is dropping everywhere and everything. And he probably has been already playing it because it's only $100 for him. So he's probably already playing it. So be concerned about how involved, into it he is for his team here, how involved he is, and how committed he is to this week's game plan. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is going to be an easy one for the Green Bay Packers, where it should be a challenging, fun thriller, and that's why it's only 4.5. I think this is actually going to be an easy one for the Packers. So give me Green Bay and the points.
I'll be on the other side here. I'll take the Cardinals and the points here. And I'm solely going off base that Kyler Murray actually puts in 2 back-to-back weeks of actual good football rather than having this 1 week off type of situation. So, uh, yeah, give me the Cards. 4.5. I mean, it could be a field goal game. Jordan Love is possibly still feeling effects from an injury. Is also taken into consideration. Everyone and their mothers told him to pick up Devonian Witts, if I'm saying that correctly, and he had like 2 catches last week. He kept it on 3, so that was very interesting to see. Josh Jacobs got his first touchdown of the season last week, which disappoints me because honestly, I was going to put on the Bears due, but his price was way too high to put on the Bears due.
Yeah, he's not that guy.
But
Can't trust him.
yeah, can't trust him. But yeah, give me the Cards points.
All right, all right. Cards and all right. Well, there we go. I don't think we got enough time to do the next one. So here we go. The Zoom 2. All right, here we go. Zoom 2. 4 o'clock slot. Everything coming together, just like the Beatles would say. Christian, who do you got for us to kick off the 4 o'clock games?
4 o'clock game, we gotta discuss one. We got the LA Chargers going to Denver, take
Mm,
on the Broncos. The Chargers are a 3-point favorite coming off the bye.
yeah. I really think that the Chargers are going to be in a gross one here. Do I think they cover this line? Broncos and Bo Nix have been pretty feisty, guys. Broncos and Bo Nix have been pretty feisty. I'm kind of see the comparisons to Tim Tebow a little bit. I'm starting to see the little magic in his eye. He has that twinkle. I'm gonna go ahead and say, oh, what a play! But I'm gonna go ahead and say, give me the Chargers off a bye. It just makes sense. Um, you got Harbaugh coming off a bye here for the first time in a long time. I think he's going to have these guys invigorated. He's going to have it figured out. They also get Quentin Johnston, which, by the way, did not expect to say that name. That Quentin Johnston's coming back actually as a reliable receiver for him. He's actually starting to beat the allegations. So yeah, and this run game, of course, your guy, J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, they pretty much took the Ravens crew from one Harbaugh to the other, and it's copy and paste. It's working pretty well for now. I mean, as we all know, hopefully no injuries happen, but until then, it is what another punt. God dang, Christian, if you had the JMU game on, we just put them at the 1 yard line again. It's amazing. But yeah, give me the give me the Chargers off the bye. I feel like it just makes the most sense. Obviously, I think that's what everyone else is thinking, but I'm very hesitant. At the same time, it's Sean Payton and Bo Nix. Come on, there's a reason why this team has been strong, and the defense is just so good.
I'm on the same wavelength here with Chargers -3. But to play devil's advocate here, the one worry I will have is the Broncos defense. The defense is absurd. They're playing lights out right now. And Patrick Surtain, arguably defensive player of the year, the guy is shutting down right now. He's having his own little island over there. So shout out Patrick Surtain. So I don't see a big game coming out of Quinn Johnson. I mean, which some people out there would argue they didn't see that ever happen. But let's say, just say it's part. But give me the Chargers off the bye here. J.K. Dobbins big game.
JK, yes, sir. And I had probably going to actually we talked about this a little bit before we started this Zoom. I might, now that I think about it, this game's in Denver. Probably will be starting Dicker the kicker. I mean, this might be an obvious start here. I know on this podcast we're not allowed to promote fantasy football players. It's a common rule. We don't do that here. But I think Dicker the kicker is due. Not gonna lie. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. What's our next game here?
Our
Because
next game,
if we're being
another
honest,
discussable. We got the Steelers going to Las Vegas. The Steelers are a 3-point favorite. A lot of threes. A lot of
field goal type games here. I like. Look, is this Christian? Do you think Russell Wilson's playing this game?
no.
Yeah. Now, come on. Why not? Why not?
You got to keep riding Fields. Like you just can't just go after one loss and go to freaking
Two
Russell
losses.
Wilson. But yeah,
Two losses, man. The offense is struggling. I I don't know. I mean, do you just give it a shot? I mean, you did say at the beginning of the season, Russ is your guy. I mean, well, I don't know, man. I think it's a justifiable argument. I know what Justin Fields can do just because I'm from the NFC North. I know this is probably he's done fine, but he did put up a good. I just don't know, man. You should have beaten the Cowboys. Gotta say that they should have
that
had the
was
Cowboys.
disgusting. I stayed up to 1 a.m. to watch that game.
And I'm
That was
sorry you did
disgusting.
that because you have Dak Prescott as your quarterback on
Yeah,
fantasy. I'm sorry you did that. That just sounds rough. because I was right there with you. I had to stress the hell out of a Brandon Aubrey kicker and everything. And they were kicking field goals every single time until the end of the fourth quarter. So I was right there with you. I was sick of it. Dude, this game might be the same game that you just saw probably. Now that we say it out loud, that's probably what we're going to get here with this Raiders game, huh? We're probably going to get another field goal fest. No matter who's
Yeah,
playing
yeah, yeah, yeah,
quarterback,
yeah.
we're getting another field goal fest.
It's not looking good for the 4 o'clock slate.
Thank you. I didn't look too deep into this line, but look, give me I don't even know if I want to drink the Kool-Aid right now. Aiden O'Connell might be starting this game. No Devontae Adams though. So give me the Steelers defense. I think there's not much challenging them there.
Yeah, I'll take the Steelers -3 here. I think the Steelers defense pulls it out and puts TJ Watt to get a fumble 6 here. Guy's been playing out his mind. So I'm not drinking. I'm not going on this Raiders team. No, 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 no.
Yeah, I'm starting to sober up. I'm not gonna lie. Starting to sober up when it comes to that Raiders Kool-Aid. It's just been rough. It's a rough look, especially when you're about to lose your best wide receiver. I mean, you have lost him already. He already requested a trade. He's already not playing for you. He's gone. So, yeah, it's a rough look right now for Antonio Pierce, a guy that I was big on. I was big on Antonio Pierce. I thought wrong. It looks like. All right, next 4 o'clock slot game.
Next 4 o'clock game, we have the Atlanta Falcons coming off the overtime win against the Bucks, headed into Charlotte, North Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers. The Falcons are a hold up, where'd it go? I just lost it. One moment. Falcons are a 6.5 point favorite.
Will you be at this game?
No, 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 no.
Gotta ask, as you are a Charlotte resident. I mean, look, I'm not promoting any fantasy players again, but I do not see Chuba Hubbard in this Carolina offense being in Andy Dalton being the answer here. I think this is a huge uphill battle for the Panthers. You already know Kirk Cousins is going to be slinging this ball left and right to his receivers. He's been on fire. This game is finally not on prime time because this isn't the game of the week. Thanks to the Panthers, this is not America's game of the week. This is just a local game for those of you in Carolina. You're missing out on the actual game of the week. So sucks to suck, but this is the price you pay. Give me the Falcons. I think this is a no doubter, Christian. I think this is a say the team name and move on, right?
Yep. This is one where we just move on. Give me the Falcons. -6.5. Panthers are back to being the Panthers.
That's tough to hear. Man, it's really tough to hear. I know it's
Really
really
tough to
hard to
hear.
play devil advocate for him, man. It's rough to play devil's advocate for that. Not gonna lie. All right, in the final, there's one more, right? One more 4 o'clock game.
There's one more 4 o'clock, and this should be the now America's game of the week here of the Detroit Lions going down to Jerry's World at Dallas. The Lions are a 3 point favorite here.
Dallas.
No, the Lions are a 3 point favorite at Dallas.
Dallas being a home underdog. Mike Zimmer is not the answer, guys. However, can he figure it out against the Detroit Lions team like he used to? I have to say no, guys. I really do have to say no. I think that Detroit team is going to be fun. They're coming off of a bye. I mean, everything screams Detroit right now. The win that the Cowboys had against the Steelers was gross. They could have played better, but that's just the way Mike Tomlin plays games. Sure, whatever floats your boat. You need everything you got when you play against the Lions. And I don't think the Cowboys have that. They have the DBs to give them a problem. I will say that. They might have the DBs. But without Micah helping you out on this is probably the one game you would love to have Micah Parsons to be the pass coverage linebacker because he would probably help you out a lot and you would force the Lions to actually use Montgomery early. I think and Gibbs. So I think it's just they're missing out right now with Micah being out, and I don't think it's going to be enough for them to beat the Lions. I feel like 3 points is very generous for the Cowboys. I don't think that's going to happen though. So give me the Lions, and I could easily see this line being. Oh, I see this game getting out of hand personally.
As much as I would like to take the cheese of the Cowboys being home dogs, ah, that Steelers game was rough. That was rough. Yeah, the Cowboys, their best hope is that this is a shootout game. Like you just gotta hope for that because I can see them duke it out in a shootout where both teams just completely ignore defenses. I'm gonna have to take the Lions right now. I just can't take the Cowboys and without feeling confident behind what they're gonna put out there. I did put them as a lock last week, which did hit, but it was a very sweaty lock. But I don't know. The Cowboys just seems so off with everything right now.
It just doesn't feel something. They're all in, but it doesn't. It doesn't feel like it. It really doesn't. Something there's obviously something missing. All right, that's the 4 o'clock slot.
Mhm.
Christian, Sunday night
Sun,
football,
Sunday
and
night
it's your
football.
favorite.
Why did the schedule makers think this was a good Sunday night football game? Like, what was the driving factor here? But we have the Cornballs going to New York to take on the Giants here. The Cornballs are a 3.5 point favorites.
Oh man, either the Seattle Seahawks were that buns, or the Giants are getting slept on here. Christian, I was thinking about this game because I knew me and you were going to talk about this a little extensively just because of the quarterbacks that are playing. I think they're both the quarterbacks and the teams are in the same spotlight here, where the team itself is doing terrible, but the quarterback's actually doing not too bad. If you look at Daniel Jones, everyone's been seeing all these stats about Joe Burrow. Let me get that out of the way. Yes, Joe Burrow having great numbers, blah, 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 blah. Number one, everything. Okay, let's talk about the more interesting in this story. And I'm looking at Daniel Jones, the guy that we already discarded as just canyon fodder, really. I really think that Daniel Jones here has a chance to not only avoid elimination, I feel like this is an early season elimination game, but this could be the moment where he's like, hang on now, I'm worth my value. They beat the Seattle Seahawks. They're looking like a decent team right now. They're not really. They're both what? They only both have one win. Am I correct? They only won one game each, I want to say.
Yep, yep, yep.
So, and the Giants are coming off of the win. That's the thing here too. They're the ones that are coming off the win. Christian, I'm going to put you in a hard spot here, but I'm going with the New York Giants. I'm going to take the Giants on the spot. I'm a little. I think that they're going to show up for this Sunday night football game. I really do. So give me the Giants. I think this is a big spot for them. If they, I mean, like I said, I feel like this is an early elimination game just for the way that the Commanders have been playing. I mean, if they don't show up now, it's never. So they got to keep up with the Commanders, and if they don't win this game against the Bengals team that literally is Swiss cheese. I can't even say it right. It's Swiss cheese. It literally has holes in it. So yeah, give me the Giants. I think that should be an easy enough defense for Daniel Jones to go off on.
Oh, wow. So before I go into the cornballs here, because I do want to dive into that, I do want to focus here on the New York Giants here first. I want to bring back an old game that we played last year. You know, pick the quarterback here. So Jalen, I'll read off you a couple stats here, and I want you to pick quarterback A or quarterback B.
I hate when you do this.
Quarterback A has a 24, 39, and 1 overall record. Passing yards, they have 13,600. Passing touchdowns, 68. Interceptions, 43. Quarterback B has a 21 and 34 record with
No.
12,870 yards, passing yards, 64 passing TDs, and 41 interceptions. Who are you
Have
taking?
rushing touchdowns for these quarterbacks.
Rushing for quarterback A is 2,000 yards with touchdowns of 13.
Huh?
Quarterback B has 215, no, actually 1,029 rushing yards with 11 rushing touchdowns.
Oh, I thought that would help a little bit, but okay. Wow. A part of me wanted to go with quarterback A once I heard those rushing stats. So I'm going to take yeah, I'll take the double. They has to tie though. Ties are gross. Go be quarterback B just because of the tie.
You're gonna fade quarterback A. You're just gonna fade quarterback A.
You know, I'm fading A just because of the tie. I feel like ties that is literally the one you couldn't win a game or figure out to lose one. Give me the guy that actually can give me a competent answer. I mean, I feel like once you hear the rushing stats, it should be obvious that you got to go with A. But that tie is what, like I said, really concerns me.
Well, the quarterback A has a better stats in every other department besides the so quarterback A that you missed out on was Daniel Jones himself.
Ah,
Quarterback B that you chose is Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence.
that's
I
even worse.
I should have
Worse.
brought this up during the Jags game. When are we gonna have a discussion? When are we gonna have this discussion about
Well,
Trevor
you're having
Lawrence?
it right now. I mean, like
Yeah,
I said, the only reason I chose the other quarterback was because of the tie. That's literally the only reason. And that was
but
because that was
everything
Daniel
else,
Jones. I,
everything else, yeah, that was a that was a very interesting rabbit hole I came across of
wish
just
Colby
seeing
was
these.
on here because I would love to hear. I
Oh,
feel like
remind
he
me to
would have
bring it
fell for
up
that.
next time his first episode is back. I'll bring up these stats again. His first episode back.
Hopefully they stay close, just like it's been too. I hope they stay close. That's the other thing. That's insane
um,
and very disappointing if you're a Jaguars
yeah,
fan. That is very
yeah,
disappointing.
very disappointed if you're a Jaguars fan reviewing that. But Daniel Jones, the Giants, Malik Neighbors might not even play this game. Like he still has Swiss cheese for brains, apparently.
Oh no.
Uh, the cornballs. James Jones on Fox Sports One. I thank you for continuously to bring this up. Why does Joe Burrow continuously keep getting a pass? And if there was any other quarterback in this situation, Lamar, Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Hurts, Kyler, any other quarterback right now that gets put in that situation where their team is 1-4, when you're supposed to be the leader over the team, continuously gets a pass. I understand the guy had a great game last week. Don't get me wrong, he had a great game, but it was a very check down merchant type of game. Joe Burrow, as the leader of your organization, you are supposed to have more than one win at this rate. I don't care about these stats that you're putting up. Do better on top of what you're doing as the leader and what they're expecting you to do. But I am tired of week after week, this man getting continuously a pass here. You are the face of the franchise. You're supposed to get and put up the best amount of effort that you can do. But yet, if this was any other quarterback, they get riddled. Shoot, even Mahomes got riddled when a couple years ago when the Chiefs had a slow start to the season. He got riddled, but yet Joe Burrow doesn't. So I find this very interesting with how the media treats Cincinnati still. Like the Super Bowl argument, which I've thought about more with the Super Bowl argument, and just strengthens my core. Matt Ryan went to a Super Bowl, and do we hold Matt Ryan to what people hold Joe Burrow? Oh, he went to the Super Bowl. Oh wow, that was freaking 3 years ago. Brock Purdy is another one. Brock Purdy continues to get ridiculed, but he's gone to the Super Bowl. So I don't. The Super Bowl argument is
He still has a
stretched
little bit of
out.
time. Yeah, I think he has time still.
It's stretched out. It's stretched out. But the Cincinnati Bengals are in a dire do or die situation right now. And with Malik Neighbors out, I'm gonna have to take the Bengals here at 3.5. But I would love if the other way happens. That would make that very fun to be in. But give me Cincinnati.
Yeah. Joe Burrow, man, we give him obviously we do our due diligence here, Christian. Let's first of all clear that up. We do our due diligence. We make
Yeah,
sure that we talk about Joe Burrow in an extensive amount. Um, I want to say that I'm glad that first of all you gave him a fair shot for this game. I feel like the only reason why this time around it's because of the numbers, man. Yes, they're losing games, but now every time I hear them talk about the Bengals this year, it's always been thrown to everything else about the team. Where me personally, I'm almost at the same point as them. I kind of feel like Joe Burrow, the only thing he's done this offseason was yes, change his hair color, but everyone else around him have been a little out of their minds, you know? Like it wasn't really his
they
fault
have
that everyone
loser
else.
mentality around him right now. They
Yeah.
just have bad aura around them. Is probably the best way to put it.
My thing is, if the aura is so bad, and this is me, this there's no way this is a 5%, 1% chance this happens. But I was like, how crazy would it be if the Cincinnati Bengals, being the cheap steak franchise that they've known to be, if they end up with a high pick here, which they're right now projected to get, what are the chances that these guys actually, with Joe Burrow being completely upset because maybe they couldn't figure out Jamar Chase or something? What are the chances that they get a high pick here and they actually have to move off of Joe Burrow? Like that just because of how bad they've been doing. Like that's what I'm thinking. Like, is this going to be something where Joe Burrow is going to be like, you know what, guys, and this is you got to fix it now, or I'm leaving. Like, are we going to get to that point? As I just wanted to shout out to the
We're,
Islanders right now, losing to the Utah Hockey Club. Come on, come on, guys. Don't turn this into a meme. I don't need a Vegas Knights situation all over again. Let's get this together. Come on. So, but yeah, I really that's where I'm at right now with the Bengals. It's like, are we going to get to a point where they're just going to be like, Joe Burrow, you're stuck here all by yourself without your friends? Or we're going to get to a point where Joe Burrow is like, you know what? I got beaten up by this franchise. Yes, you paid me the bag, but get me out. You know, like
yeah,
he's
that's
had
very
enough.
forward thinking, Jalen. You are like 30 steps ahead of what these media pundits, should start putting out there. Honestly,
Trust me, if they ever hear this, we'll probably get recruited by said media outlets because we be coming up with some off the wall takes. But that one's one that I have been thinking about. Like this one, I really do think that we might be getting to a point where Joe Burrow might be just sick of the antics because the Bengals won't pay anybody, especially his friend Jamar Chase. But obviously, you're a franchise guy, so you're in a spot. You know, he's in a spot. So, and then, like you said, if you wanted to really pick on him, we always do that here. So, anyway, I think I'll give him a break for this 1 week because I already picked the Giants to upset him. Picked the Giants to upset him. So, yeah. All right, go ahead. Monday Night Football. I think this is a
one
interesting one, right?
this is an interesting one. We have both teams that desperately need to win right now. We have the Buffalo Bills traveling to MetLife at so MetLife is going to go back to back 24 hours of renovations to switch from the teams.
Hang on. This happened before. Hang on. Go ahead. Continue your
Nick,
point. But I think this.
while you figure that out, the Buffalo Bills are 2.5 point favorite heading into MetLife. With the news coming out this week, Bob Salah is out as New York Jets coach, which wow, that caught me off guard. Honestly, like I thought Hackett would have got the axe before Salah, so that was quite shocking itself to see. But as we've seen over the years, and history repeats itself, teams tend to play better off the interim head coach, like right off the gate. AP was the most recent example of that. I mean, that team was electric once AP got in, and I can see this New York Jets team take flight. Finally, honestly, I can see them coming into the prime time spotlight here to have a battle. I mean, Hackett did get demoted. The first job that Ulbridge, if I'm saying his name correctly, was like, "All right, Hackett, you're getting demoted, buddy. We're getting a new OC."
Yeah,
So
he did get
man, we
demoted.
we might see some fire and spark out of it. And then Buffalo, on the other hand, Josh Allen is in a desperate need to have a game here because he's had two back-to-back stinkers, two probably his worst games that he's played. Like he did not look good. And argumentally, he is. possibly concussed. Like, I mean, there was videos popping up that was very concerning, like how this man got back into the Texans game. I was like, how
Oh, the one and
anyone else
done,
that's
like he did
concussed?
one play and hopped right back
Yeah,
in.
yeah, that was very, very fishy, I will say, from the neutral eye point. Because that that was rare. But
Do you know where
the
you are? Do
Bill,
you know your name, sir? Yes. Okay,
yeah,
bye. All right, get back out there.
yeah, the
Didn't even
Bills,
say his name. He's just running back out there.
the Bills in a very interesting spot because the first 3 weeks when they were facing against farmer league teams, they were on their high horses. Named Josh Allen doesn't need a number one. He has his resources, he's spreading the ball out, but yet they face actual good teams back to back weeks, and they got really put into place with both of those weeks. Give me the Jets plus 2.5. I'm just going to ride off the interim head coach.
Right. It was week 4. This exact same scenario happened, Christian, where you were like back-to-back nights they're playing football. And I mentioned this at week 4 as well, where the Giants played Thursday night and they had to get ready for a Jets game Sunday. The Giants ended up covering that game against the Cowboys. However, the Jets played the Broncos and got upsetted at home.
Mm,
That week, I went on to project that the Broncos would upset the Jets. This week, I'm going to go ahead and stick with that trend. I'm going to go with the Bills as well, not because of the numbers and the field turf switch off there, but it would be an interesting trend to keep an eye on that whoever plays first gets to cover the spread and the other one doesn't. Um, I'm going to go with the Bills here, mostly because we saw that they put up a good fight against the Bills. How did they put up that fight? Well, it wasn't through their receivers, first of all. It turned out all their receivers put up less yards than Stephon Diggs alone, besides Keon Coleman's miracle touchdown. So that alone, you're already like, well, Josh Allen's on a spot. You already said it, Christian. He's already in the concussion. He should be on concussion protocol probably. However, he's not. And I think the last time I did something like this, we had a little bit of a Tua situation. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I'm hoping Josh is able to get his together before the game starts, so that way he's okay. But it's his MetLife we're talking about here. An unprepared MetLife game who has only had one night to get ready. Not even a night. Literally, like I said, this is going to be a game. Like I said in week 4, this is going to be a game where you're going to be still seeing shades of the color blue from the previous game because they couldn't get the field paint off on time. There's no way they're going to get that field paint off. They might as well do the classic, draw the straight lines through the end zone, nothing colored in, just do white lines. Like there's no don't do like that, like you would see in Madden how sometimes they would do that. Like that's what they're gonna do here. Like they should just do the white straight lines, no color, no nothing. It's not worth it. You're gonna look ugly on Monday. Sunday night's gonna look amazing though. So if you don't give a damn about Monday Night Football, go ahead. But all right, slightly concerned. How's that Seattle game? Because
it's 16-0.
well, the only reason why I'm concerned is because the Seattle players are in red. Their colors are red right now. Are they in the red
Yep.
zone?
They're in the red zone, 8 seconds left. Gino just tossed it up to Jason, and Jason did not catch it.
I would have loved it if he caught that because Logan didn't start him, and he's got the most points out of all his players right now. So I would have loved that. I would have sent him off the walls, and I would make fun of him and hope that he makes some irrational waiver wire moves. But anyways, all right. It is time. We got a couple minutes left. So actually, instead of getting ready to our next one, we are going to Zoo 3. And we are here on Zoom 3, the last one. We're getting to the good stuff here, the part where we get to wrap it all up, but we also get to all our locks. I got them for Colby and Lou. And we get to go over what is going on with our dues list. So, Christian, take us away. And how did we do last week?
Last week it was heartbreaking yet again. Wise. I think we only went 1 for 2 because Josh Allen and Stephon decided to both not play football against each other.
It's
So
true,
that was quite so we were off to a good start with Garrett Wilson. I thought that was very promising, but and then come out. So I apologize to everyone that the Bears do has not been good this year. But
Did Zay score last week? Zay
Zay did
Flowers?
not score, but he was not officially part of the
I know,
Bears
I
do.
know.
And
I
like
was just trying to
he
find a
did,
cop out. I
he
was trying
he
to
did, he did not score. So it's been disappointing on my part, especially because this has been what my baby has been for the past several years, and it's this year it's not good. So I apologize to everyone. If you don't want
It's
to take it,
early, dude.
I
It's
don't
early.
blame you.
Don't worry. It's okay. It's early in the season. I feel like now we're about to hit our stride. This is the part where you
Yeah.
have to get your stride. So
hmm
we're here. We're here for
So
it.
we're going back to the 1 o'clock straight because our best week was when all of them were at 1 o'clock, to not spread it out and everything. So first, we're going to the Commanders game of the year. We're going to Zay Flowers. I almost took him last week. This is the week. Wise. He had a great game last week, going over 100 yards, having quite a bit of receptions. I think he's going to find the end zone here, one way or another against the Commies. Second, we're going to go to the Cardinals and Packers game. James Conner did not score last week, so I think he finds the payment this week. He gets used a lot. I love his running. He's always straight up. It's very frightening. But give me James Conner to come in, and then third one's going to be an interesting one. We're going to go to a guy that's been out for the past couple weeks now. I'm gonna go AJ Brown. AJ Brown is finally have returned. Hopefully, I don't know if he's confirmed fully, but it's looking very positive if he is. In case he is out, just in case as a precaution, I would probably substitute J.K. Dobbins. But that's just a precaution. But AJ Brown's the official pick here. So with all three of those guys, you get a plus 1,038 par right here. So right above here of 10 to win you 100. So that is theirs due. I'm very optimistic. Hopeful so. Like these guys are all craving for the end zone. Let's get a first official one of the year on the board.
All right. Well, love how you put in James Conner. Trusting the NFC West is always an interesting bet, but they're supposed to be in the shootout. So I'm leaning that. And as I just mentioned, your cop out, you're putting them on the official list. So we got to support it, man. And I feel like now we just got to get to that point where we support it. So 10 toes down, we got this and everything. We got to hit our stride. All right. As pre-mentioned, Christian, you went 3-0 last week. If you want a quick recap of the picks here, because I mean you did go 3-0. You had the Cowboys, the Packers, and the Chiefs all in a close one. You went 3-0. Colby, he ended up going 3-0 as well. But since he wasn't here, we're giving you the initial first pick and everything. He last week went with Vikings, Bears, Jags, and me and Lou both went 1-2. I had the Commanders, who were the only team that covered for me, as the Seattle Seahawks and Raiders did not. Lou had your Ravens, who covered by the field goal, which was iconic in itself, and had the Patriots and Bills, who did not cover. So
You
here
have
we
me
go,
both
Christian.
standings.
First pick of the locks. You're back in first place, or at least tied for it. What do
I
you got?
say, so am I tied with Colby on
I think you're one down,
oh,
actually. I might
okay.
be wrong. I think you're one back because he went 3-0 as well, actually.
Okay.
So one
Give
back,
me
but you've been doing them live. That's the main caveat there.
give me the Texans minus 6.5.
Right, Texans. Colby will be taking. Hang on, he sent me his order. Got to switch between him and Lou here. There he is. His number one pick, the Cleveland Browns, plus 9.5.
Wow.
He's keeping it interesting, man. He is keeping his
Wow.
his locks interesting. I don't know what he's been eating lately. And Lou he actually had the Texans first as well, but he'll be getting the Falcons in this situation as his second pick that he had.
He's taking the Falcons as his lock. Wow, that might be a first for Lou on the pod right now.
Yeah, I think it's because he's having a good time and everything watching the game, watching the JMU game and all that. And that's another reason why I'm trying to let you go here, so that way you could go hang out and have a good time. I'm gonna go. Well, we both had the Falcons, so obviously that's a good pick. Damn. Give me. It's weird when you don't have the Vikings on the board, man. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Colts. I'll take Joe Flacco.
Okay. Okay.
And I forgot I'm going back to back. So let me go with writing down Colts. There we go. I'm going to go with I had the Packers. I don't know, man. Wait, give me Baker and the emotional Bucks. There we go. Give me the Bucks.
Good one.
And then we're going to flip it over to Lou. That's the only bad thing. Lou's got the Packers. Oh, wait. Yeah, Lou took the Packers as his second pick.
Mm-hmm.
And Colby will have. This is the only bad thing about bye weeks. He'll take Dallas.
Ow.
All right,
So
Christian, your turn to take some two off the boards.
I'm gonna take the cornballs -3.5.
Uh-oh.
And then
What could go wrong?
this we're in ugly territory right now. Oh no.
Oh, it's very ugly.
Oh no. I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
It's very ugly.
I don't like this at all. Oh my god. Meeny, meeny, money, mo, catch a two. Ah, give me the Chargers -3. Do it.
No? It's gonna be a close one, but I think that could pay off. All right. I think I actually have them on my list as well. Let's see, that means Colby will be finishing his picks with the Broncos. He'll be
Oh, so he's
challenging
going
them.
head to
He,
head with me on this. Wow.
yes, he'll be going head to head with you on this one. He's got the
So this
Broncos as
this
his third pick.
this is gonna be crucial right here in case me and him both get our other two right.
Yes, sir. That's perfect, man. I'm telling you, that's just chef's kiss right there. Like it all played out. That's why I didn't say anything. And Lou for his final pick. Let's see. I took the Colts. He already wins. Oh, he wants the Bengals. You took the Bengals.
I already took that.
You already gave him the Packers. I already took the Colts. Falcons, Bengals, Texans. Uh-oh. Lou's out of picks. Lou's out of picks. So I'm gonna have to default him one.
We're gonna have to give him a pick.
Yeah, we're gonna default him one. Mostly because I'll pick mine and there's not gonna be much for him to choose
I
from.
I think I think you know what this calls for a pen.
Mm,
Let's
mm.
pick what game have we picked anything for the Jags Bears game?
For Jags Bears, no, we did not. Both
All
teams are
right.
picking Bears, though. We both went Bears.
All right, so Lou, if the pen is facing me, he's going Jags. If the pen faces away from me, he's going Bears.
I wanted the Bears.
He is going Jags.
Good, because then I get a chance to think about if I want to go for the Bears. The fact that no one put down the Lions or Pittsburgh, these are close games, actually. But I feel like the way that me and you have talked, I'm gonna go with the Lions, man. Watch this shit bite me in the ass. I'm gonna go with the Lions. I'm gonna take them. I already know it. Watch the Cowboys win next week and everything. So, all right. So recap, just so that way those guys don't yell at me that I didn't recap it, but I'm pretty sure I did last time. We got Christian with the first picks. He's got Texans, Bengals, and the Chargers. Colby went Broncos, Browns, Cowboys. Lou. Oh wait, I'm challenging Colby. There we go. I didn't even realize that. Lou went Jags, Falcons, Packers, and I went Colts, Bucks, Lions. Challenging Colby. So Colby has two challenges on the field here. There's some good head-to-head challenges there. All right. There's the locks. There's the week 6 slate. It's time for everyone's favorite, America's favorite, I should say, honestly. Maybe internationally known at this point. It's time for final thoughts. Christian, it's your time. This is your chance to
Ooh,
take us away.
ooh, we. We are in store for a great college football Saturday. This is the first one. I believe there's another one in 2 weeks where it is just bangers after bangers after bangers after bangers. So I'm excited. it is time to be a couch potato and just take it all in or go to a sports bar, whatever you're doing here. We have Texas at Oklahoma, Ohio State at Oregon, South Carolina is going to Bama, Penn State's going to USC, Ole Miss at LSU, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing probably two or three because of how stacked this lineup is of this games, man. I'm excited just to sit down, watch this. If I had to pick one that I'm going to have really heavy eyes on, it's going to be Ohio State at Oregon. Ohio
Big
State
Ten
is a
game.
3.5 point favorite at Oregon. So they're going to Eugene. I'm leaning Ohio State. I I'm very distraught by how Oregon started off the season. I'm still in that phase of like I didn't like that. I had a Dylan Gabriel Heisman bet that I already cashed out with because he was buns already out the gate. You can't beat a Heisman and be buns straight out.
My
Give me
Heisman's
Ohio
aren't
State.
looking good.
Yeah, give me Ohio State. Talking about Heisman, if we're going by true definition, as much as I hate Colorado, I don't hate Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is the guy that I always like. He's always, I think he's the true definition of a Heisman, playing all that amount of snaps, both ends of the field, playing great. But I think Ashton Genty is going to be a very interesting argument. He's on pace to beat Barry Sanders' record at Oklahoma State for both rushing yards and rushing TDs, both from miraculous miracles that you have never ever thought be broken. Well, Ashton Genty's on record. That man is like minus like 6,000 to score a touchdown at this rate. So college football, very interesting. Buckle in, boys. We're in for a good one this Saturday.
Yeah, these games are going to be amazing. My final thoughts are going to be split in two because my first part here is going to connect with your Saturday. Yeah, these games are going to be amazing. I don't know how much I'm going to watch because I've waited over a decade, Christian, for what I'm about to say, and that's the new Dragon Ball Z game coming out. Yeah, my life is about to be taken away by a video game once again. And it's going to be very challenging to see how much I'm actually going to be paying attention this week, especially when my Vikings are on the bye week. I might be taking that. Is that Sticky Nugs? They were eating Sticky Nugs live on ESPN. For those of you who don't know what sticky nugs are, I should explain real quick. JMU has a local bar. I think that's Billy Jack's, right? Billy Jack's does the sticky nugs. So, and they're a staple for the community. It's really good. It's like what Buffalo, and I always went with like the
Buffalo,
honey. I
sweet,
always went with the honey. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
sweet chili
Sweet
barbecue. No,
chili. There we
sweet
go.
chili, and then barbecue and bacon cheddar,
That's the
garlic
one. Yeah, barbecue bacon.
parmesan.
Yeah, those are the two. Sweet chili and barbecue bacon. I just saw those
Mm,
on ESPN and I'm like,
mm.
God damn, would I kill Colby's shout out to Colby. He is still doing he's still trying to relocate right now in life, but right now he's actually at the game. So you will see him hopefully in a couple of weeks actually, as we're already mid-October. As I'm finishing up my first part of my final thought ramble. My last part here, the official final thought, is going to be really just the fact that it's going to how am I going I'm trying to find a way to put this, guys. I mean, goodness gracious, has anyone paid attention to the WNBA? I know you're saying no because I don't think you do and everything. I don't blame you, even I haven't. But I do want to shout out them just because, once again, the Minnesota Lynx are in the NBA, their WNBA finals. Haven't seen that since like we were in high school. So that's just a fun little fact there and everything as I was actually searching for another final thought. I know I'm rambling on, Christian. I'm sorry. But I just wish I had a better final thought than you did, man. I'm not gonna lie. That was a pretty solid final thought. I really want to watch this Red River rivalry, but I don't know if I'm
Oh,
going to be
baby.
able to, man. I don't know if I'm gonna because
There's just so much. It is so much that you need multiple screens this weekend.
I might need yeah, just so I can watch the Red River rivalry and play Dragon Ball Z. So that's probably my Saturday. I'm gonna be right there with you. I'm not gonna lie. That college football one really stole the breath out of my lungs there. So stole the words right out of my mouth, as some would say. Yeah, there you go, folks. Christian, I know I rambled on a lot, but still some good stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.